The locked cabinets at retail stores is complete BS, and any objections as to it not are completely ridiculous. And so, hear me out here for a second. Have you recently been at, for example, Walgreens or Walmart or any other place where they have locked, especially Target? I think Target was like the leader on this one, which is again not anything nice to say about Target, especially because it's just an overpriced Walmart with a different color themed logo and better paid employees by just a couple of dollars. I mean, Target isn't the best company, but let's talk about that. Let's talk about how multi-billion-dollar companies choose to invest so much money in infrastructure that allows them to safeguard their product. And okay, so let's approach this from a store owner perspective. Let's say that, you know, myself and a few buddies collectively control a Walmart, and we notice that we're losing, $20,000 a year because people are stealing laundry detergent. Um, this is the thing with business here in America, right? Is oftentimes you'll hear capitalists construe cost with loss. And even though there's still an excess numerical nominal value at the end of the year, which is their profit, for some reason to maximize profit, which again, I'd argue is completely counter to real free market capitalism, which mandates competition. But let's just say we're not very much competing because we have all of the control. And so when there's no competition, these things happen. Retailers are allowed to make these arbitrary decisions based on, again, going back and to wrap it up with what they perceive to be a loss as opposed to a controlled cost. Now, I'm not an accountant. However, I've lost enough money in my life to know the difference. If there's one thing I've done successfully, it's lose a bunch of money. And let me tell you, for all accounting purposes, and again, this is a actual loss. I would say that I've experienced both costs of business and loss of business. So when retailers argue that the cost of business is in fact a loss for their business, I get kind of annoyed. It's pretty disheartening to see some of these retailers spend all of this money to safeguard laundry detergent when in fact they could just hire more people. They could just do any number of other things that wouldn't promote a kind of environment in which people steal. People don't steal for fun. People don't steal out of hobby and or interest. Most of the time, 99% of the time, people are stealing because they have no other means of obtaining whatever it is that they're stealing. Now, we're not arguing the fact of like what they're stealing it for, all these other things. I'm just simply saying that the bigger problem here is why people steal, not people stealing, right? And so I feel like that money can be better invested on more staff, possibly more security, possibly paying your employees more and fostering an environment in which people have the amount of money they need to not steal from your store. This is, again, in the bigger picture, ideally what needs to happen. But until then, I guess we'll all have to wait 15 minutes while we press the button waiting for one of 3 employees that work at a store that brings in millions of dollars each month to get our laundry detergent. And that's not even touching on all of the racist hair products that also happen to be locked up just a few feet away, or on that same side of the store, rather, in any sort of big retailer. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's been a punchline for like 2 decades, but why on earth people have to have their shampoo locked up again is absolutely ridiculous. So if I could, I would say other things that I can't say or choose not to say to retailers, but it's pretty ridiculous.